Have you ever been faced with such adversity that you wanted to give up almost instantly? Or failed at a task multiple times that make you think that it is simply impossible? Sekiro Shadow Dies Twice is one of the ultimate examples in video game history that embodies this feeling. But today, I'll be discussing how playing Sekiro Shadow Dies Twice builds self-confidence and perseverance by challenging your mentality, testing your patience, and your resolve. In my personal experience playing the game, I faced a steep learning curve that took me a couple of hours to get used to the mechanics of the game. Unlike other From Software games where you can play all sorts of different ways and can make the game easier or harder for yourself depending on how you make your character build, in Sekiro you can only play the game in one way, with parries. Because of this game is completely different from other From Software games and challenges your mentality almost immediately. From an article by Daniel Prokorsky, he discusses how the parry system in Sekiro is one of the most satisfying action combat systems ever implemented in a game, but the feeling of missing a parry or a block can demoralize you, and that it usually takes several failures to successfully parry or block a sequence of attacks. Patience is also another key factor while playing Sekiro. In the game, one of the most prevalent ways of beating the boss is actually break their posture so you can land a critical hit on them to beat them rather than going through their whole health bar. Christopher Byard, a writer for the Washington Post, talks about how deflection and parrying is almost everything in the game, and how a foe with a sliver of life can still present a formidable challenge. So if you rush to try to kill them, it will most likely result in you dying for being impatient. Here is an example of what happens if you try to rush beating the boss.
I nanoed him and it probably kept him alive, to be honest.
It did get me.
Oh, you're so close to defeating. You're so close to
In Sekiro, your resolve will be challenged the most by how much failure you can take. You will die a lot in this game, and your will to overcome these difficulties will be the driving force as you play the game. Eric Kane said it best by comparing Sekiro as a teacher. It teaches you to master its systems through failure and persistence for your own benefit. The feeling you get after fighting a boss you've been stuck on for a while will literally have you screaming for joy and make you feel so happy that you did not give up.
Oh my god!
So after hearing all of these challenges you will face playing this game, you're probably thinking to yourself, why would I play this game? Why would I put myself through the time and energy to play a game that I know I will have a difficult time playing? The answer to this question is simply that it builds self-confidence in yourself and drives you to persevere in real-life problems and shows that the impossible isn't actually impossible. Violet Pilata wrote about their own challenges while playing Sekiro and stated that there were multiple instances where they believed that they couldn't beat the game, but they were finally able to beat the final boss, Sword Saint Ishin, and stated that they felt an enormous wave of peace now that they were able to finish the game. They also stated that finishing Sekiro was an enormous win because they had been struggling with many personal issues, and beating Sekiro grew their confidence and made them believe that anything is possible with enough determination and resilience.
Oh my god! Clear! I beat the game!
Lastly, perseverance. It is the staple attribute needed when playing From Software games, especially in Sekiro. The will and energy needed to go through the rough and unforgiving parts of the game might make you want to quit the game. I honestly don't blame you if you quit the game, but you will only negatively affect yourself in doing so. James Barahan talked about how it took him 300 hours to beat Sekiro. Through trial and error, he was able to defeat the mini bosses in the beginning of the game, but it resulted in him taking hours to do so. After his first 150 hours playing the game, he stopped playing the game to give other games a try. But Sekiro never left his mind. It bothered him that he quit. So after a year, he decided to reboot the game and give it another try. After another 150 hours in the game with mastering parries and knowing when to attack and when to defend, he finally beat the game. It was an emotional journey he faced, but was the most rewarding feeling he has ever had playing a game. Through perseverance, he was able to have such a rewarding feeling and could appreciate how the game taught him to never give up and tackle obstacles head on. Personally, after beating the game, I felt like challenges in my life weren't as impossible as I thought before. I have Sekiro to thank for it. So if you ever want to challenge and test yourself, I recommend playing Sekiro and see how far your will takes you and possibly build from it to make you a more confident and mentally stronger person.